Hello, I'm Steve Saul. Welcome to North West Today. The headlines this Monday lunchtime. Does fracking have a future? The government's urge to raise seismic limits will shut down the industry. Serious concerns over finances at Manchester's Caribbean Carnival. And the campaign to protect the starry skies of the Lake District. The boss of a fracking firm's accused the government of trying to shut down the industry by the back door. Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the chairman of INEOS, which has licences to explore for shale gas in Greater Manchester and Cheshire. He says safety rules on seismic activity are unworkable. Currently, fracking operations must be halted if they cause earth tremors above a certain level. Sir Jim says it's too low. Well, our chief reporter Dave Guest joins me now with more on this. So Dave, how does Sir Jim justify his call for changes to the tremor limits?
He's saying that the current rules in the UK are far, far lower than the United States. At the moment, if there is a tremor registered at above 0.5 on the seismic scale, then operations have to be shut down temporarily. He's saying that in America, that level is 4.0. In seismic terms, 3,000 times higher than the UK level. He's saying that basically by not increasing these safety levels, the government is shutting down his industry by the back door. Now, the company INEOS, who he works for, couldn't make him available today, but they put up their chief operating officer, Tom Pickering, and I asked him several times whether his chairman was saying, basically, if the government don't change the rules, we're going to pull out of the shale industry. This is what he said.
I don't want to speculate today on what the outcome is if the government decide not to proceed on evidence and facts. That's a decision for another day. I think for us, we're saying, look, we think this is very important. We've been committed to it from the outset. We've got businesses throughout the north of England, 3,000 people employed, 10,000 or more reliant on our plants and what we do. And natural gas is central to it. And natural gas from shale beneath our feet is really, really important to that.
Now, the UK's only operational fracking sites in Lancashire run by Quadrilla. What have they had to say about this?
Well, they had no comment to make today, but they have previously said they feel that these levels are far too low. You'll know, of course, that their site in Preston New Road had to shut down on a number of occasions last year because tremors exceeded that 0.5 threshold. But as I say, today, no further comment.
And what have anti-frackers had to say about this?
Surprisingly, of course, they don't agree with Sir Jim Ratcliffe. They say that these levels were agreed by the industry in advance and now they're wanting to change them. Greenpeace said in a statement, INEOS have discovered that it's impossible to frack safely in the UK, so they want to frack unsafely.
OK, Dave, thanks very much indeed. Whistleblowers raise serious questions about how money's being handled at one of the North West's biggest outdoor events. The Caribbean Carnival of Manchester attracts tens of thousands of people every summer, but for years there have been concerns about the way it's being run. Matthew Bone reports.
Every time you ask for proof, you never got it.
Karen Cummings was the secretary for the Carnival in 2013 and says there were serious problems with the finances.
There was also accusations to do with payments. Some people weren't getting paid.
And she wasn't the only one concerned. Atif Rayman refused to sign off the Carnival's accounts that year.
There had been no effort made at all to actually act as an official organisation. It was more like a cowboy job, to be perfectly honest with you.
The Arts Council also raised concerns about how money was being spent and pulled their funding. And sponsorship from other areas also fell dramatically over the next few years. Recently, we've heard from people who say they've not been paid by the Carnival. Max provided a sound system and DJs in 2017.
I said, don't bother come back to my house unless we get that money.
And Safeguard Security say they're still owed around £6,000.
We was underpaid, we was short paid, and we're still short paid at the moment.
The chair of the Carnival Committee, Mickey Bisson, has said the responsibility for both of these payments lie with other contractors who worked with the event. Manchester City Council looked into the Carnival's finances and found no evidence of money going missing, but did call for greater transparency.
I think there's got to be a mechanism for them to be able to account for how they conduct their transactions.
Karen Cummings has put together her own bid to run the Carnival this year. Mickey Bisson says his group is continuing to make the changes asked for by the City Council. A decision on who runs this summer's event will be made later this month. Matthew Bone, BBC North West Today, Manchester.
Well, the chair of the Carnival Committee says he disagrees with the whistleblowers' comments. A full BBC investigation is being broadcast on Inside Out North West tonight at 7:30 here on BBC One. Residents evacuated last night because of a large fire near Chorley are still waiting to go home. Firefighters started tackling the blaze at a warehouse in Adlington from midnight and are still at the scene. A £47 million project to make it easier to move around Liverpool is getting underway. The connectivity scheme includes widening pavements and removing bus bays. Work starts on Victoria Street and is expected to be finished by November. Now, we all know the beauty of the Lake District displays in daylight. It attracts visitors from all over the world. But is enough being made of its nighttime beauty? It's got some of the darkest skies in the UK, and now a campaign's been launched to protect those starry skies. Here's Peter Marshall.
Whatever the weather, beauty abounds when daylight illuminates the lakeland landscape. But how many millions of visitors miss out by failing to turn their eyes to the skies when the sun slowly sinks?
It touches people who wouldn't even consider themselves interested in science. It actually puts yourself as part of the cosmos. It really makes you realise you're an integral part of something that's huge and amazing and immense.
These images were all captured for us on Red Screes Fell just north of Ambleside. The dark skies perfect for revealing stars and planets in stunning detail. Astronomer Rob Ince hosts stargazing events in Cumbria. He's captured these images over Grisdale Forest. Last year, 2,500 people came to his events, but he says more could be made of the Lake District's dark skies.
It's only a tiny fraction of people that actually realise how dark the night sky is, and there are things you can see in places like this that have good dark skies with little or no light pollution that you just can't see in towns and cities.
Light pollution, of course, is the enemy for all astronomers. It's reckoned that because of the rapid rise in light pollution over the last 50 years, that 85% of the UK population has never been able to gaze at the heavens and see our own galaxy, the Milky Way.
It's not about turning off all the lights, but we can be a lot more mindful about how it is used.
Johanna Korndorfer has been employed by the charity Friends of the Lake District to protect and enhance Cumbria's night skies. Her 3-year mission to win internationally recognised dark sky reserve status for the whole Lake District National Park.
It's about being more considered about what your lighting choices are and why you're lighting what you're lighting, and thinking about, what its impact is overall to others.
Few would deny that a truly dark lakeland sky is a thing of wonder, but the debate over how it should be protected and enhanced will occupy many minds over the next 3 years.
Stunning pictures in Peter's report there. See more on that on Inside Out Northwest at 7:30 tonight. Right, time for a weather check from Rich Davies.
Hello, good afternoon. After a damp and cloudy start to the day, we've started to see a bit of sunshine, and it looks like we'll probably see some more sunny spells through the rest of this afternoon, with it staying pretty dry and fairly mild as well. Temperatures could get up to 9 or 10 degrees Celsius through the afternoon period. Now, overnight things will be turning a little bit chilly once again. That's because we've got some dry conditions and some clear skies as well. And under those clear spells, we could see temperatures down into the minus figures. Could see lows of -1 or even -2 through tonight. So it's going to be a very cold start to things through tomorrow. Could be a frosty and even a foggy start to the day. Eventually we'll see some cloud gradually build, and then by the afternoon some more outbreaks of rain that will continue into the evening. But it will be staying mild with highs of 10 degrees Celsius.
On our Facebook page, you can find out more about the new bingo craze that's sweeping the northwest and taking it by storm. Facebook.com/BBCNW. Roger and Annabelle are back tonight at 6:30. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.